Okay. Hello, I am Brian Gordon with George Fisher Piping Systems, and today I'm sitting here with Jay Cleaver. He's the president of California Controlled Atmosphere, and the reason we're interviewing Jay today is his company recently did an installation using our CoolFit pre-insulated ABS. And Jay, if we could start, tell us please a little bit about your company and the industries and applications that you guys service.
Sure. California Controlled Atmosphere is an industrial refrigeration design, build, and service company. We mainly service the agricultural industry in California's San Joaquin Valley, doing a lot of produce, chilling and storage applications, food processing, and so forth.
So you guys have your organization has the engineers to help design it, as well as the technicians that can go on site and actually do the installations.
Right, we've got several PEs on staff, and we do the design. We've got construction crews that will go in and do the installations per our specs, and then as well as the service technicians that will come in after the fact and help maintain the systems for our clients.
Very good. Well, the application that you did most recently with George Fisher using our plastic ABS pre-insulated pipe was Tasteful Selections, and they process potatoes among other things. Tell us a little bit about that installation and exactly what was the application.
Right, Tasteful Selections is a potato processing company. They'll bring in potatoes they harvest from the field, pre-cool them down to storage temperatures, and then move them into storage rooms where they hold them until they're ready to process. And once they are ready, they'll take them out, run them through their processing lines to sort and bag and get ready for shipment.
Ah, very good. So the George Fisher plastic ABS pipe for cooling, and in this case I think it was Glycol, we've had this product in the United States for about 15 years. When did you first hear about it, and how did you hear about it?
We actually heard about it through the local CoolFit rep, Ryan Herco. It was Mike Oliver came by a couple of times and introduced the product to us, and it took a little while for the right project to come along for us to try it out, but it fit great with what we were looking to do at the Tasteful Selections facility.
So was it your decision to, at CCA, was it your decision to use the CoolFit?
Right, it was our decision. We put it into our design and used that as part of our presentation to the client and to sell the job.
So you did need to present it to the client, kind of explain to them this is a little different product than you might be used to, but here's your advantages, and you did have to kind of explain it to them.
Right.
And get their sign off. Okay, very good. So in the process, after deciding to go with CoolFit, something that George Fisher likes to do is make sure we train the people that are going to install it. And obviously you received that training. What did you think about that training as far as preparing your team to install the pipe?
I really appreciated George Fisher as well as Ryan Herco's efforts to help make sure that we were ready for the project, not just through training on the installation, but also walking us through design of the piping system, making sure that we had all the information and education that we needed to do a proper design. And then they were always at the ready to come out and give us the training for installation. I think on several occasions, the George Fisher rep came out and walked us through that whole process to make sure that we were well prepared to do the installation.
So how many hours does it take you think it took for one of your guys to be fully trained on this? Assuming they know nothing about this, maybe they're more used to installing metal piping. So about how many hours would you say it takes for one of your guys to be trained on this?
Yeah, I think it probably took maybe one or two sessions of a couple hours each. Our guys have a background of course, in welding carbon steel pipe, but they also do a lot of PVC and copper sweating as well, stainless steel. So they've got a lot of background in pipe installations. The CoolFit system is got different rules and procedures to follow to put it all together, but with their previous skills, knowledge, it came pretty quick to them, and they soon became well versed in it.
Now, you'd mentioned sweating copper and welding carbon steel. So this system is pre-insulated. It's already got the insulation on there. Would you describe this as more complicated or less complicated? I know on the metal piping systems, you've got to join it all together and then insulate it after the installation. What's your thoughts on that?
Right. I think it's definitely a different system, and there are rules and things that you have to follow with installing the cool fit piping system. I think once that system is learned, it's not a difficult system to install, and in fact, because the piping, even with the insulation on it, is a lot lighter than what a steel piping system is. It's a lot easier on the guys to work with, especially in those larger sizes. We were up to 8-inch size pipe, and because of the benefits of the smooth interior, that 8-inch cool fit would have had to have been a 10-inch carbon steel pipe, which you just can't manhandle around in piping racks, up in the air. So
you
made
saw
things a lot.
You saw weight as making the installation easier.
Right.
Okay.
Definitely.
Good. Any other advantages you see to the cool fit over maybe a metal piping system?
Well, one of the advantages I alluded to was just the pressure drops that we have to account for in a metal piping system. Over the years, the interior will corrode, and the roughness factor will increase. With the cool fit, we could count on a smooth surface with less pressure drop. We were able to go to a lower pipe size in a couple cases, which saved some there. And we can count on in the future that we won't have to worry at all about rust or corrosion on interior or exterior of the piping system.
Well, that's kind of where I was going with my next question, and that is, do you see an advantage? Obviously, your team needs to install the piping system and you hand it over to the owners at a certain point. Do you see advantages for the owners and for the maintenance personnel in this pipe versus, say, metal?
Right, that is the main advantage they'll see is not having to worry about corrosion over the years. We'll see piping systems 20 years old with poor insulation jobs. Vapor barriers break down, moisture gets on the surface of the pipe, and we've got to go in and replace pipes that have begun to leak. Whereas in this case, we expect the piping system to last indefinitely.
Yeah. We've seen that a lot on like metal valves, for instance. It's tough to insulate them, and if they're wet for years and years and years, sometimes the handle just snaps off in your hand after the valve's been there for 10 years or so.
Right.
So yes, absolutely, good. And my last question then for you is: would you guys use George Fisher again in the future?
Yeah, we would definitely.
Okay, very good. Well, Jay, thank you for your time, and we appreciate you working with us.